1945 becomes the year not only of the Nazis' military defeat, but of their public trial.
The Palace of Justice in Nuremberg, Germany, once the holy city of Nazism, becomes the setting of an epic event. Here, under the vigilant eyes of Allied military police, the 20 most important surviving members of the Hitler gang go on trial. The attention of all the world is centered on this city and this scene. High representatives of France, Britain, America, and Russia form the tribunal. They will judge the ringleaders of a conspiracy that brought war to all the world for their crimes against peace and humanity.
Finished the 5th grade, the 6th grade, and the 7th grade. And I was on my own, and my dad said I could go to any of these cases, except I could not go to the ones trying the doctors, because they did all these horrible experiments on people, and most of them were hung. And he said, that one, I'm not going to let you go and listen to these. The U.S. government was looking for someone, and my dad had lost the seat to stay on the Minnesota Supreme Court. The chief judge in Minnesota said, I recommend that this gentleman would be fine, and so he was appointed by Harry Truman, and he went off to Germany.
Proceed with the arraignment of the defendants in case number 11, now pending before this tribunal.
Well, this is a gavel my father had at Nuremberg, at the Nuremberg War Crimes Trial. This is from the first case, Flick et al., this German industrialist, and then later on, of course, he was a presiding judge in the last trial, the longest trial they had at Nuremberg. It ended in April of 1949. They used British, American law, and the French, but they gave everybody the same thing that you get here. You got defense counsel, you got a right to confront witnesses, and so basically you were using a law that would be fair today if you were in a criminal court in America. Then Nuremberg stood for a lot of principles, and you couldn't hide behind superior orders, and you couldn't wage aggressive war and commit crimes against humanity. So that's all part of international law now, and set this precedent and memorialized it.
But this trial has shown that under a national crisis, ordinary, even able and extraordinary men can delude themselves into the commission of crimes so vast and heinous that they beggar the imagination. No one who has sat through the trial can ever forget them.
One of the things that made some of it easier, the Germans made all these documents, and it's hard to say, gee, I didn't know, is that your signature, Colonel? Yeah, ordering someone to be taken to a concentration camp. So there was so much of that, as well as the eyewitnesses and documents and what people did. My dad was involved in the Frederick Flick case. He was a German industrialist who didn't get that much time because he had used, you're not supposed to use slave labor, but he took care of him and fed him instead of just working him to death. And then the last one was a ministry's case that they had, the longest case they had, and that was prying all the cabinet ministers, some SS generals, people who ran the State Department, and other different, it would be like trying the U.S. cabinet and some military people along with it. These are talking about leaders in Germany. The failure of these men to remain steadfast to principles of duty and love for their fellow countrymen, many of whom doubtlessly relied on their leadership, illustrates graphically for everyone how unstable and undependable even brilliant and talented men can be when lacking a solid moral foundation and a proper sense of duty. Red Wing's a unique place, and there's a lot of unique people who lived here, from Colonel Covell and Loris Norstad to Eugenie Anderson, so it's had a world impact.